We're just getting lazy with the cliffhangers at this point. We're just getting like super lazy. We're just gonna have the girls just get randomly attacked by gigantic legendary Pokemon out of nowhere. That's a cliffhanger. That'll give to watch the next episode. We're not even trying anymore. We're not gonna have some crazy like fake out death or like something brutal happen. Which is a Pokemon. Just a Pokemon hatches. Though it does have me kind of questioning. Did Mickey send them on vacation to get rid of them? I don't know. That feels like there's way too much potential in at least Lucky Cyan. I can see him feeling that he can't control Queen. That Queen is too powerful. I raised her up. She's not doing what exactly I want her to do. The potential's gone there. She's getting caught up in too much stuff. We need to kind of just sweep this under the rug and, I don't know, test a biologically engineered monster thing that we have on the side. I don't know. I just see there's too much potential in Lucky Cyan. She's too much of a good card to lose unless he feels with that as well, I can't control it. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case. It could just be they randomly stumble upon some evil organization that probably is run by the commission. It's probably going to be some dumb thing like that. But we'll see. We'll see in the next episode. But yeah, overall, decent episode. I think there's like really good nuggets of stuff in here overall for story-wise. There's some good nuggets in here, but I didn't care for Boa. Boa's story is perfect to counter Queen, but was too basic. And I mean, most of the stories that they've kind of got into, especially with the villain characters, they're kind of basic. I just felt like she was very lacking. But yes, cinema. I mean, I can't ignore the fact that literally half of this episode is pure, absolute cinema. This was on par. I would argue better than Isol's fight. Isol's fight was incredible. The ending especially was just fantastic, and it had a punch point in the middle. Isol's fight was both storytelling and epicness, whereas this one was just pure epicness. Like the fight itself was incredible. Yeah, there was like a couple points of kind of CGI moments, but overall it was just visually beautiful. Like they did a great job with like the CGI environment they're kind of running around in, getting the characters to kind of blend in well with it. And I think it kind of helps the fact that their line art is so crisp. Their character line art is so crisp and it just flows so well. And to have all those extra frames in there to kind of make it work and not be very, yes, jaggy like you typically get with 2D characters in a CG environment, they blend in well. They had enough frames in there to make it all kind of come together. And yes, the fight itself was just incredible. It was like it reminded me so much of like a Fate Stay Night type of fight. You have like Lancer. I mean, she had an axe, but I felt like it was Lancer versus like Ruler. Like Ruler over here making all these rules, having a cool twist to the powers at the very end that's unfortunately kind of lost. I mean, you can get a sense of what they're doing there. Sort of lost in the English dub. For those who don't know, I watched it pretty much both. I watched it in English dub to get the screenshots, and then I watched it again in subtitles. But it's just overall fantastic. And the music. The music was so freaking good. I got Nier vibes. I don't know if I have some people that are like huge Nier fans. I'm asking them about it. I got Nier vibes. I had to look up to see, is somebody with Nier involved with this project? Because it's just the vocals. Like the vocals are so Nier. But yeah, overall, it was incredible. But as per usual, let's go through the episode proper. Let's start from the beginning, go through the entire thing. There's a couple things in here that I do kind of want to dive into for the episode 12 of Tu Bian Yingxiong X. So let's just jump into it. Open up the episode. We have Queen has become a hermit. They have the controversies around Lucky Cyan's kind of popping up. There's obviously people questioning if everything that happened with Lucky Cyan is sort of the cause of what happened to Queen. They have the mysterious X has appeared. I didn't get into it last week, but it didn't really dawn on me until I was doing my edits. I do kind of question with those that missed my analysis of last week. I had a massive amount of curiosity around Queen's character and how they've sort of developed her to be somebody that can control things. And with her power increasing, could she eventually get to the point where she could command anybody? And it was like this deeper idea, that possibility that Mickey purposely wrote her speech to get her this presence of a queen, and thus once people give her trust, her power will awaken that she is a queen, that she can command all things. She wants to wear X on her head like a crown. Queen. What do queens do? Command. And so I felt like they were purposely awakening her to her powers to be controlling. And I felt like the whole purpose that they were kind of building up to was that she becomes X, so that she has like the most power possible. Like in the point of X, you are the top of the game. You have the most trust. Could that lead into them wanting to control, yes, all of their heroes who has trust value, and yes, control nations basically. But the thing that popped up in my head as I was doing my edits was the possibility that this mysterious X appeared out of nowhere because he foreseen this, and he purposely came there, rose the ranks that quickly just to stop her from becoming X. There's a theory that I've had for a while now that X is going to be somebody that can sort of foresee things and bend reality. The idea that he can snap his finger and it changes reality. Again, a lot of it's played off of by the OP and the ED. This guy that snaps his finger and stuff happens. We seen when he fought Queen, bam, she lost. Doesn't even know how. And he appears out of nowhere. Nobody knows who he is, but yet he has enough trust value that he's that powerful. And so my theory for him is that he could have either gained trust value from some remote tribe or something like that nobody knows about, and that's why he's so strong, or possibility that he gained trust from everybody and then bent reality so that nobody knows who he is. He could have been some massive celebrity, some massive hero, and then he changed reality so nobody knows who he is. But there's another side of me that almost believes that he can possibly see the future. And this comes from the whole thing that happened with, yes, way back here, Moon. Nice and Moon. Way back here, when Lin Ling first went to his little room and he's seen Moon dead. I kind of had an inkling in my mind that was a possibility that X made him see that. Or possibly he undid her death. That she died there, it was going to cause some sort of falling out with the heroes, a big fight. It may have triggered Nice to go crazy. He foreseen that and undid her death. But then she just dies again. And there's a possibility that he could undo that death as well. Or possibly he was showing Lin Ling she's going to die, gave him a delusion, of so to speak, and then he failed to protect her when it mattered most. I think this might be the case too here. And again, this also plays off of Lucky Cyan's character story. And the idea that at some point, this guy threw her a coin. It could have been him, once again, giving her a coin to help her stand up, get on her own 2 feet, and eventually rise up. I think he's manipulating everything. I really do think X is going to be this really cool guy that foresees catastrophe, and he's bending reality. He's stopping bad things from happening. Not that Queen would have been a bad guy, but that she could have been manipulated by people. If she gained X, she was going to control everybody, dissolve the trust system, and it would cause... Yeah, what if it is to the fact that she would be the only one, she would undo the trust system, and in the future, something would show up, some catastrophe would show up, and there would be no heroes. That kind of stuff. Anyways, coming back to this, that was just something that popped in my head last week, and I forgot to talk about it, so I thought I'd talk about it here. But yes, this whole controversy is coming up, Queen's locked up, and then we get a quick shot of Boa. Now, I was a little bit bummed out by how the fact that Boa is so obsessed with Queen. I mean, they clashed heads. And she's jealous. They were asking her to give her power to her position to Queen. She doesn't like Queen. And of course, having this little thing implanted in her head that Queen was given everything she has. And yes, we do see with her backstory, yeah, this explains why somebody like her hates Queen so much. This is somebody that has a silver spoon in her mouth the entire life. I had to build up everything. I had no born talent that I had. I had no position given to me. I had to work for everything I have. So it does explain why Boa doesn't like her. It's just a basic story of her. I fought for everything I have. Yay. Now, the interesting thing that was actually in this whole thing is, one, the fact that it shows that the commission has like sort of a group of agents, which makes sense. You have this organization that's supposed to be, I guess, overseeing all the heroes. Yeah, they technically probably do need people to protect them because there's going to be groups that don't like them. But either way, she apparently was working in there, didn't want to be that. She wanted to be a hero. She took a bullet for somebody, never let it keep her down. But yes, cutting back to the current time, we get to see the message that we seen last week. And the fact that, yes, somebody tells her that, in fact, Queen is the daughter of Liu Zhen. But the question that I had was, who gave her the info? I wonder if it's Enlighter. Because yes, Enlighter is around at this time because during this about the same period of time, he was helping Yang with the whole situation with Isol. He helped them out with them, basically trying to ruin his name, and Enlighter showed up. So I can see Enlighter working in the background right now trying to take down heroes, which would imply that Enlighter possibly seen Queen as being a fraud, which I could totally see. She is basically getting information from Mickey and the organization to boost herself up. She's gotten a massive leg up. And so I could see Enlighter seeing her as a fake hero, a fraudster. I don't think it ever said who it was that sent it, but I would assume it's probably Enlighter. But anyways, as she's a hermit, eventually good old Johnny shows up. Johnny's such a good boy. Johnny's such a good boy. I heard you're a hermit. I made some food for you. The Johnnies miss you. Johnny's such a good little boy, just sitting up there waiting. Cyan's not doing good either. The whole rumors thing, we don't need to let that stuff get us down. He's all about like becoming friends, and I like the fact that as we see later on, Queen had her heart opened up thanks to Lucky, and they've all become like super friends. I just love it. Eventually, Zen shows up. He says, "Yeah, it's all my fault. You can blame me. Here's all the info about the plane and Cyan, and I got a way to fix this. Don't worry, I'll take care of it." She pops out there, says, "What do you got?" Tells her about the recording, and that's when we have the whole scene with Mickey. Cool little scene here because, again, this is where it sort of gave me a lot of hope for Queen and Lucky Cyan as friends, because I think during that whole segment with Lucky Cyan's perspective, I wasn't sure if Queen was doing that really for Lucky Cyan, because the impression that I got about Queen is that she's somebody that is about herself. So it did kind of lead me to believe that she was just kind of playing into Cyan, acting like she was her friend. But it shows here that, Queen came in there legit to help Cyan. We get a brief shot of her listening to Cyan as she's doing her singing, and it helped her hear this voice in her heart. And it's all about the song itself. This is something that really touched her. She says, "I truly believe that Cyan can bring hope and joy to the masses." She perked up to when Zen said that he had something to help Cyan. "What do you have to help Cyan?" She went in that room. "I have something to help Cyan." It's not about Queen. She already lost. They claim she got bad luck, but she don't care. She knows it's not bad luck. She's in there because she wants to help Cyan, because Cyan opened her heart. It's so cool. Again, that was like that whole like realization point there. Like, she was in there legit for her. She wasn't doing that for somebody else. Back there, I even thought that she was just playing into whatever Mickey wanted her to do. Yeah, and this is the time when you walk in the door and you'll say that you have the resolve for everything. Mickey didn't know. Mickey legit right here did not know. It was cool though. It was super cool. I like I said here, I totally ship the two of them. I just love them as friends or more. But yeah, that's when we cut forward and we have Queen's comeback. She's out there fighting. Really cool animation. The dude he was fighting. What it say? A lab research publicly condemned for a work error became corrupted by fear and triggered chaos and panic. It is like here's where we have like the Power Rangers villains that pop up out of nowhere and they're random vehicles or whatever. But it was really cool though. That whole shot there of her chucking the spear was awesome. But that's when we get to the Boa fight. The night before the tournament matches are going to be happening again. She's out working. Johnny calls her up and says, "Hey, come and hang out with us, man. We can't have each other's back unless you come hang out with us." Lucky Cyan's like, "Yeah, I'll give you a whole bunch of luck for tomorrow." I don't know. I don't think she would do it. But it sort of implied the idea there of like, because Queen has opened her heart up more, because of listening to Lucky Cyan and all the hope and joy that she brought her, I can totally see her opening up to, these are my friends. It's only natural that they support me. So if Cyan's saying, come on over so I can give you some luck for your next match, she'd probably be open to it. Because it's no longer just about me. That's like that whole last scene of this episode is this idea of, do you have others that you can, trust and rely on? No, I was all about myself. But then something changed. You changed that in me. You helped me hear this voice in my heart. I think she's opened herself up to, hanging out with Johnny, hanging out with Cyan, and seeing them as friends and stuff. And more importantly, people that she can rely on. Yes, she can cry in Cyan's arms. I'm allowed to do that. I have friends now. It's super cool. And so I could totally see her. Yeah, why not? Lucky Cyan wants to give me some luck. Take it. But yes, Boa shows up and they fight. Like I said, pure cinema. Super cool. The suplex, the chuck, the first person perspective of flying through the air was super cool. Again, all the perspective shots, the CGI environment that was like rough at 2 points. I think like the boxes rising up and stuff was just a bit, it was a bit off. But overall, it was just, it's the choreography, really. It's like every single hit and impact, you know what's going on the screen. It's not like a lot of other action scenes of other shows where it feels like stuff's just flying all over the place and you don't really know where they're at, who's winning, what they're actually doing. There's actually choreography happening with the combat itself. A lot of it, yes, around the idea that it seems like Boa is mostly all brute force. It does seem like, yes, despite the fact that she lost her trust, she now has fear, and it seems like fear itself is being fueled by fear. And so I would assume that the more and more she feels like she's going to lose to Queen, which she does not want to do, she absolutely refuses that. I will not lose to you. You've been given everything. I refuse this. I want my crown. I want my throne. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to destroy everybody else and take that crown. she's getting stronger. So I'd assume that, yes, as the fight goes on, that's going to grow and grow and grow. It's rather than with heroes, it requires people to see them and more people to trust them. Here, it's just pure fear, which I'm curious if at some point they'll get more and more into that. It seems like that's probably the basic concept of it. But now the coolest thing in this fight, was, yes, she's using her power to place rules within a boundary. And the way that Boa is getting around that is essentially finding loopholes, finding some way around it. And it shows basically the idea that she's able to tether her weapon to be outside of that barrier, it seems. And by the time it comes into the area, she's not fast enough to stop it. That's the loophole that she's finding. But the more interesting thing, and this, again, like I said, is sort of lost in the English dub anyways, and I didn't really catch it until I listened to it in the actual Japanese, and technically the subtitle translation, is that Queen agrees with her that you can find ways to break rules. You're correct that all rules in this world must be broken before they're established. Rules can bind others, but they can also strengthen oneself. The English dub was order frees the hero and binds the villain. It doesn't really make much sense in the context. What happens here is literally, up until this point, besides maybe the whole thing where she thrusts a whole bunch of those spears, that could have been a point that she did it. But the idea is that this entire time, she has been placing rules within her boundary to stop Boa. Every time she uses it is to manipulate whoever she's fighting. It's always to create some sort of barrier or blockade or stop something. In this moment, she sets a rule to create power. Rush, she sends a spear with incredible power. It was really cool. Again, the idea there is to finally use rules to increase her own power, which is pretty cool. It sort of opens up the door to her ability to just limitless, basically, at that point. That whatever she wants to control or push or pull or enhance in any way, she could do that. But anyways, really awesome fight. Absolute cinema. Wrapping up with her telling her, yeah, you've fallen off the tin. You can't even compete. It's like all this fight at the very end. Oh, by the way, you're not even qualified. You've dropped off the list. Yeah, it kind of seemed like coming. But anyways, that all culminates to, yes, her waking up in the hospital, realizing that she has to get up so she can go to the tournament. Lady stops her, says, you're going to open your wounds, you got to rest. By the way, you've been unconscious for a few days. You can't, it's done. A massive gut punch, completely missed it. I mean, I wasn't too shocked by that. Kind of assumed that was kind of probably be the case once she started fighting Boa. But yeah, just the fact that she can't do it. But no, Cyan come in the door. She's so stunned, and Cyan just runs in the door, just grabs her, hugs her, and says, be nice to yourself. You don't have to do it alone. Get some rest. We're at your side. I got all teary-eyed. I'm like, my girl hugging her and said, girl, stop. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, man, I love the two of them. Then Johnny coming in there. Johnny, good boy, too. I'd assume that within a year, she's going to be right back in there. But it seems like a year later, she's being sent off. And that's the curious question mark. Is because we jump forward another year. I'm assuming we're coming up to the next competitions again. And it seems like they're being sent off on vacation. Now, I have two question marks here. One, is she still in the tin? I would assume that she's still in the tin. She said that she's dropped down. She wants to do more work. She's been out of commission for so long. She wants to do some jobs. But I would assume that she's probably still in the top 10. Could she have dropped out? And again, is Mickey trying to sabotage her? I don't know. Again, it just seems odd for them to send him on vacation at this point unless he's just really trying to keep her out. I don't think Mickey cares about her well-being. I really don't think he's like, oh man, I really think that she's trying too hard. Let's send her on vacation so she can relax. Let's send Lucky off with her. I don't trust Mickey. I don't trust Mickey at all. I don't think, that's a good question mark too. I don't think Mickey's going to double cross Zen unless he just feels that Zen's not a threat. Because Zen's going to be really ticked off because Queen's his daughter and Lucky Cyan is basically his daughter. They're both his daughter. I don't know that Mickey would do that without really, really setting off Zen. But again, I don't doubt it. I don't trust Mickey. I'm sorry. I don't trust him. But yeah, the little conversation there was good, though. You've opened my heart. Didn't have any friends besides Cyan and Johnny. Since I was a child, I was made to realize that I can only trust one person. Me. But yeah, you changed that. You made me hear the voice in my heart. It was sweet. Again, Lucky Cyan Queen ship. I take it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the episode. We'll see next week what this Pokemon is. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video as always. If you did, hit the like button before you leave. If you like this content and you want to support me, I have membership down below. You can join. Thank you so much for your support. And until next time, y'all take care.